When the home run queen Jocelyn Alo says someone is the up and coming, you better sit up and pay attention. Sooner fans, get excited because the player Jocelyn said that about, the player that she said is the up and coming, is currently committed to OU softball in the 2026 class. Ori Mailo is a power-hitting corner infielder from Mililani, Hawaii, and she'll soon be the next great Hawaiian to play for the Sooners. Let's continue our deep dive on each individual player in OU's 2026 recruiting class as we get to know Ori Mailo a little bit more. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to watch past videos on Kiele Ho-Ching, E.K. Smith, Keegan Baker, and Malaya Majum-Finch. And hey, if you like OU softball recruiting content, it's one of the many things I do here all OU softball all the time. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are really closing in on 5,000 subscribers. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Also, be sure to hit that notification button so you know every single time I drop a video on OU softball. Ori Mailo is rated as a 4-star player with a 94 overall ranking by Softball America. She's ranked as the number 40 overall player in the country, and she's the number 1 player in Hawaii in the 2026 class. She's also rated as the number 18 overall infielder in the 26 class. She's primarily a third and first baseman. Let's talk about what stands out immediately about Ori's game. Well, it's really hard to not immediately point out the incredible, and I mean incredible power that she has at the plate. So let's start there. We know OU likes power hitters. And Ori is exactly that. In fact, she gets compared to Jocelyn Alo quite a bit. More on that one coming up. But Ori can take over a game with her power at the plate at any time. She's done that many times, and she's even done that in high-pressure playoff games. This past season, Ori had a game late in the postseason where she was 3 for 3 with 3 home runs in a semifinal game. And you just see highlights from that game. You see the swing. God, just almost effortless. She's hitting it out of the park to all fields, power all over the place. And that's not something that's an everyday occurrence in high school softball in Hawaii or anywhere else. Apparently, it's been years since a player had a game, high school softball in Hawaii, where they were 3 for 3 with 3 home runs. It's one of the more legendary performances I think Hawaii high school softball has seen. And like I said, it was deep in the postseason in a game that mattered against a very good team, and it helped clinch a berth in the state championship game. And speaking of the state championship game, by the way, she did damage there too. Hit a home run in the championship game as her team won the state title. Ori and her Mililani teammates made it back-to-back state championships this past spring. And here's more on her power. In the summer of 2024, she set a goal for herself in summer ball and club ball. She set a goal for herself that she wanted to hit 10 home runs throughout the summer. Well, she hit more than 10. She ended up hitting 17 home runs instead. Wow. Ori's a winner, and she wears OU stuff seemingly whenever she can. She wears a red batting helmet during games, which, by the way, that's not a school color. Nobody on her team has another batting helmet like that. And I don't think that that's any sort of a coincidence. Seems pretty obvious to me why she's wearing a red helmet. And then there's even a TV interview where she's wearing this really cool OU bucket hat. Like, no, she hasn't officially signed yet, but Ori Mailo is a Sooner. Like, make no mistake about it. Number 1 player in Hawaii, and she shows off OU whenever she has the opportunity. Oh, and by the way, she might do a bat flip or two as well after she launches a home run. Ori committed to OU on September 30th of 2024. The other 2 schools who were heavily pursuing her as well, or at least in the fight in her recruitment, were Oklahoma State and Texas. In her commitment announcement, she said, "God is always good, and his steadfast love endures. I am extremely honored and humbled to announce that I will be verbally committing to the University of Oklahoma to further my academic and athletic career. Thank you to Coach Patty Gasso and the OU staff for believing in me. #Boomer. Now, something very interesting to note here with Ori, she's actually going to be graduating early by all reports. She's going to sign in December with OU, but then she'll be graduating from high school in December as well. So could we actually see Ori on campus during the season next year? Maybe that's a possibility, and maybe she even redshirts next year. Won't play, but redshirts and is at least around the team because she graduates early. And for you OU football fans out there, maybe she's not the only Mailo that's going to be at OU in the next couple of years. She has a relative that's an edge player who's being recruited by OU in the 2027 class. Troy Mailo, a 3-star out of the state of Colorado, has an OU offer and has shown some legit interest in the Sooners. I reached out to Ori's high school coach at Mililani High School, and huge shout out to Rose Antonio. She was incredibly kind. And she also gave me my favorite quotes about a player that I've received so far. I appreciate every single coach that gets back to me, and all of them do. But Rose had a really cool quote when asked, hey, what do you think about Ori? Just tell me what you think about her as a person and a player. Here's what she said. Quote, Ori is a goal-oriented, dedicated, and self-motivated individual. Her work ethic is outstanding. She rises to the occasion and is at her best when her best is needed. Her competitive nature makes her an outstanding performer under pressure. She always displays sportsmanship and is an excellent role model. She is a tremendous leader and understands the importance of leading by example. Ori is well respected by her teammates and is extremely unselfish. Her faith is the center of her life. Ori is a throwback to the way sports should be played. Most coaches, teammates, and fans would be proud of her individual accomplishments, but Ori brings humility and a willingness to place her family, her team, and community above her individual achievements. Wow. You guys a fan of her yet, if you weren't already? Like, yeah, all the power hitter stuff is cool, but that was awesome. Outstanding performer under pressure, outstanding work ethic, rises to the occasion when her best is needed. Faith is the center of her life. Throwback to the way sports should be played. I mean, and that's not even everything that she said. I don't know which of those gets me more excited, but all of those are absolutely fantastic. And like I said, my most favorite quote from a coach that I've gotten back since we've been doing these videos. That is excellent stuff. And yeah, coaches say great things about their players. That's almost always how it works. But that one felt a little different. You know, and you're used to hearing me say this a lot, but I can tell Ori Mailo is about the right stuff. She's talented. Yes, she wouldn't be getting this opportunity at Oklahoma if she wasn't talented, but she's about everything you want a player in this program to be about. And it's a reminder that you got to have both sides of it. You got to be a great player, yes, but you got to be about the right stuff. Ori Mailo is another player that is about the right stuff. You guys are really going to like this part. Jocelyn Alo plays a big impact in the softball story of Ori Mailo. And seemingly, all you need to do is ask Ori to really see all of that. As you can probably imagine, Jocelyn's OU career has inspired so many Hawaiian softball players. Not just in Hawaii, all over the country, all over the world, but definitely Hawaiian softball players. And Ori was one of those players watching her career very closely as she was growing up. Apparently, the story goes that Jocelyn became familiar with Mailo through her travel ball connection with younger sister Sophia Alo. She got familiar with her, watched her play. Then Jocelyn posted about Ori and said she's the up and coming. Now, I want you to imagine this for a second. Imagine that moment for Ori. You've looked up to this player. You've looked up to this person for as long as you remember. And then she is posting about you for the sport of softball, saying you're the next big thing, essentially, to come out of Hawaii. That is unbelievable. It's absolutely incredible. Ori said this about that photo, quote, "Jocelyn posting that about me is probably the proudest moment that I've had in my whole softball career. Her words have boosted my confidence and have driven me to reach my goals. I want to make it out just like her," end quote. And oh, by the way, a few months after that photo, Ori committed to OU. So thank you for that, Jossie. Very, very well done. Ori said shortly after committing to OU, quote, "Jocelyn inspired me the most to commit to OU softball. She was my idol ever since I started watching her play around her junior year of high school. It was surreal watching her leave Hawaii to not only play for a winning program, but also a program led by God." Ori then continued and talked about the coaching staff. Quote, "Speaking to JT Gasso, we mainly touched bases and talked about my hitting abilities. With Patty Gasso, we spoke about what ticked about me and just my mindset as a player," end quote. I've said it once already this video, but I'm just going to check in again. How can you not already be a fan of Ori Mailo? I know that I am. You'll see videos of Jocelyn and Ori in the batting cage together. Jossie is throwing soft toss to her. You'll see videos of Levi Alo with Ori in the cage. It's just so cool to see that the Alos really, really support her and support her career. And you know that they're going to watch every single step of her OU softball career. And hey, if you have Jocelyn Alo in your corner, I think anything is possible. Is Ori the next Jossie? Well, nobody is Jocelyn Alo. Literally, nobody in the sport has done what Jocelyn Alo has done. So to have any expectations that Ori will do the same things as Jossie, I think is wildly unfair. But there's definitely similarities in their game, and that can get you excited. Ori even said, and these quotes are courtesy of BVM Sports, quote, "I do get comparisons a lot to Jocelyn. A lot of people compare me to her because of the same body type and strength that we both have. But I do still have a long way to go. In terms of the home run record, I feel like if I could even be mentioned in the same sentence as the Queen, that would be enough for me," end quotes. Ori goes on to say, "I want to build off Jocelyn's footsteps, not only for me, but for those after me. Being in Hawaii, we're so far from everyone else, but that shouldn't stop us from dreaming big. I hope I can be another example of the progress made for athletes in Hawaii." And then finally, "My biggest role model on the field is Jocelyn, and I try to mimic her style in everything that she does, but off the field, my family is the main reason behind everything I do." So the last thing that I would do is set any sort of expectations that an OU commits will be as good as the greatest hitter in college softball history. But with the work ethic that Ori has, along with the talent, every other amazing quality about her, both on and off the field, and there's a lot of those, by the way. Oh, and by the way, having the Alos in your corner as well. Guys, she's got the tools to be the next player young Hawaiians look up to in the sport of softball. By the way, I'm really digging the Hawaii pipeline that OU has established. Anyone else? I'm sure you are. On the roster now, last season and going into this next season, you have Nelly and Ilana Agbayani. Two starters on your infield. Two starters in what I think is going to be the best infield in softball this year. You've had Jocelyn Alo in the past. Kalani and Sam Ricketts come from California but have Hawaii roots. Maybe I'm missing someone else in there, but we're talking about some incredible stars that this sport has seen coming out of the state of Hawaii. And when a lot of the household names in Hawaiian softball have starred at OU, yeah, I like Patty Gasso's chances to continue to get great players out of the state in the future. Ori said this about Nelly McEnroe-Marinas, quotes, "I played a lot with Nelly, and being able to play with her like on the field and to see her on the biggest stage now, it's just an inspiration to see like that what she did at home. Like she's made it out and she's on that level," end quotes. Finally, what's Ori's OU projection? Well, if I had a crystal ball in front of me, it would probably show a lot of home runs. I think she has the power that translates to the highest level of college softball, which is what she'll be playing when she gets to OU. And like everyone in this class, I say, hey, they're really good now. And I show you guys highlights during these videos, and you're probably saying, yeah, that looks pretty good. But they still have another year to improve before they even get to OU. And when they do, wait until they really get going with this elite coaching staff. I would think Ori is likely a corner infielder for OU at some point in her career. Maybe even a DP. But she can hit. That's the name of her game. That's her game. She can hit. And with someone with so much power, you can find a spot in the lineup for a player like that. I also think it really helps that a kid from Hawaii is coming in and already knows a couple of players on the team. But it sounds like Ori's coming to OU with the right attitude and focus that she's going to need to be a big-time player at OU. Cannot wait to see Ori Mailo in an OU uniform. Like she said, this is a dream come true. Quote, I feel like it's a little girl's dream come true. Mine was to always be able to not only play for myself or play for my family and the name on the back and just be able to represent them in every good way possible that I can. It's honestly great, and I just feel like it's a dream come true. Ori Mailo got a pretty incredible story and not even close to being written just yet. Hey, appreciate you guys as always. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel for more OU softball recruiting content. We cover it all when it comes to Sooner softball. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications so you see the multiple videos I drop every single week covering OU. As always, thank you for watching.